peripherals off. There we go. Okay, let's get started, shall we? We got some racing to do. Let me just reset the lobby. Okay, it's been a while since we did some daily races, so here we go. Got Watkins Glen, upstate New York. We're gonna do some Group 3 action. I'm gonna take out the BMW for this because it's the darling of this daily race this week. Yeah, we got a lot of BMW M6s here. Alright, so we'll give this a shot. So it's gonna be an 11-lap race. We're gonna be doing a rolling start, racing hard and racing softs. So two major differences in tire compounds for this. So the plan is to do about maybe 5 to 6 laps, halfway, and then do the rest on softs. But what I need to do first is I gotta fix the audio here. I think the game is a little bit too loud compared to me. Alright, this should be a little bit better. Alright, let's give this a shot. So the first, as always, the first attempt at a daily race, I'm gonna start from the back and then work my way up as the race goes along. But then, as the night goes on, I'm gonna give myself opportunities to qualify, and then I'll start further up the grid. You know, really give myself a chance to get some positive driver rating. We are still trying to get our way back up to B rank. Oh shoot, that might be track limits. Stewards, what do you say? I went over. I'm gonna restart. Try this again. But we're in a really fun time for Gran Turismo because next, I don't know if it's, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be next week or the week after. We're going to get a brand new update, our monthly content update for Gran Turismo 7. And it's going to be the hypercar update. So up until now in Gran Turismo 7, the only modern day Le Mans hypercar was the Toyota GR10. So what they announced at Milan over the weekend, you know, because we had the Gran Turismo World Series over there, they announced that we're going to be getting 4 hypercars added to the Group 1 category. So we got the BMW, the Porsche, the Peugeot, and wait, it was the Porsche, Peugeot, BMW, oh, and the Ferrari 499. So for those that are taking, for those that are, you know, wanting to do like world endurance, like my group at MPM, it's gonna be a huge boon for us because, you know, most of us have either been using the Toyota, like I've been using the Toyota for MPM's version of World Endurance, but people that wanted to do like the Porsche, they've been opting to use some other cars in the category. Which now begs the question, are we going to be allowed to change our cars when the update drops? Because, not gonna lie, if we're allowed to change cars in the hypercar class, I want to change my car. I probably want to do the, I'm probably going to go Porsche. Either Porsche or Ferrari. I want to use one of those two. So I gotta ask around the crew at MPM if we're gonna be allowed to swap cars mid-season. Because I've done the first few rounds using the Toyota GR10, but we'll see what we can do. Now, for this race here at Watkins, you'll notice I am taking the BMW M6 out. Oh, shoot, that was track limits. Damn. I cut too much. But tonight's livery is a little bit special. I am taking the Pacific NAC livery. Now it's kind of hard to see with this angle, but there's a reason why I picked it. Let me see if I can pull up a little replay so I could show you. Oh, give me 1 second. Sorry. Texting the missus about the new game Stranger Than Heaven. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I gotta do this real quick. Okay. Let's get back to work. We got 8 minutes of practice. Oh yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you a little bit later. But if you're, some of you guys might know that I'm a big fan of a certain horse game. So yes, this is a recreation of the Uma Musume Pacific livery that's driving in Japanese Super GT right now. So on the sides of the car, on the doors, are some of the characters of Uma Musume. Of course, this is not the car that they're actually using in real life. They're using the modern day BMW M4 instead of this M6. But you know, the thought is there. Too early on the throttle there. Unfortunately, I'm not 100% better. I still have this nagging cough, this like lump in my chest, trying to cough it out of me, but it's still around, causing some problems. So if I get a little bit out of breath, if I cough during and it's loud, I'm sorry. That's gonna be track limit, so I'm kind of backing off here. So remember, first attempt, no lap time. We'll start at the back, and then we'll work our way up. We'll go from there. Oh, right. One thing I need to do real quick, at some point during the stream, I need to redeem my World Series goodies. So, if I remember correctly, on the last stream that we had last week, we did our predictions for Milan, for the Milan round of the World Series. And from the looks of it, I seem to have predicted the correct manufacturer, because I was expecting Jose Serrano to win. However, and I distinctly remember this, I was having a conversation with somebody in our chat, and we were considering like who's going to win the Nations Cup. I eventually settled on Takuma Miyazono, but my first gut was to go with Pol Ura, and that was going to be what I was going to pick. He was going to be my pick, but then I switched over to Miyazono, and then I watched the highlights of the race, and Pol Ura won, and I'm just like, oh no, I could have gotten a free million in credits, but should have gone with my gut. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. But what I need to do is I need to turn on the streams in the game, and then back out of it. So that way I could redeem the stealth models of 2 of the cars that are on offer. So there's a special livery for the Porsche 911 that's available if you watch the stream on in game. So on the PlayStation in Gran Turismo 7 itself. So you do that, you back out of it, and you're considered submitted for the free giveaway. So people, they did say that there was a problem with people trying to get access to the stream in game. So I think they've extended the deadline for people to watch it. So I'm gonna try to do that, and that way I can get a free car. 2 free cars, I should say. Too much wheel spin. Let's try that again. So the plan is get a race in, get some races in, and see, I'm a little bit torn on what I'm going to do for the rest of the week. So Friday I'll probably just do whatever. I don't have any NPM races scheduled, so I'll probably just fool around a bit, maybe play some other racing game. I could do some Le Mans, I could do some... Actually, one thing I've been wanting to play is something called Formula Legends. I just recently picked it up on sale. It's a fun little arcade racer, but they recently released a DLC pack based on Formula E. You know, the all-electric racing series. I kind of want to give that a go. Hi Maya, how are you? Here to watch the hubby. Alright. Okay, so we're gonna get our first race in. 30 seconds. So the plan is just to get a feel for this lobby, get a feel for the race, and then we'll start to get more competitive as the lobbies go on. So I definitely want to try to do some Formula Legends at some point during the week. But I also want to try to sneak in some Overwatch. You know, it's the final week of the 10-year anniversary. I could try Mario Kart, but I don't know. Like I've played enough Mario Kart on stream, and honestly, at this point, if I want to do Mario Kart, I would rather play with friends. I still need to get myself a Switch 2. I want to get a Switch 2 so I can play Mario Kart World with everybody else. So I'm kind of like in between. All right, so I'm dead last on this grid. So we got a Genesis here, we got some BMWs, we got some Audi on pole, some Ferraris, some Supras, we got a Mercedes, we got a Ford GT, okay. But a good portion of this this lobby's running the BMW. Okay. All right. So, initial plan. We're gonna go 5 laps. 5 laps on the softs. I'm sorry, 5 laps on the hard compound. Pit at the end of lap 5. Swap up to the softs for the rest of the race. And we'll go from there. We just changed my brake balance. I'm gonna go +3, and I'm gonna switch this to +5 once we get to the soft compound. All right. So yep, we're breaking out the Uma Musume. We got a winning ticket, Rice Shower, Curran-chan on the right side. I don't know if we'll be able to get a shot at the left side. See the horses on the left. Here we go. We got Special Week Maruzensky. All right, a little bit of an awkward start for us because we were in mid-corner. But let's give this a shot. Let's see what we can do. Excuse me. Let me try to stick with them. If this is anything like the last race that we did on stream, we could end up getting positions just through sheer dumb luck. Yep, yellow flag. That means somebody's gone off. There's somebody in the wall. Freebie. Alright, keep it nice and tidy. I don't know why this guy is flailing about, but... Alright, we have a Mexican driver. About to get... Alright, good moves, though. But he kind of overcooked it. Now I find myself at P13. Not bad. Oop. Might have been some contact behind. Bit of disagreements going in chat right now. Alright, somebody's gone off. There we go. There's Chris, the stricken party. Alright, so P12. Not bad for a start. Oh, we had World Rally earlier, Zeno? Nice. Okay, this is gonna get awkward. Apologies. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Look at how annoying that... See, that one guy checked us all up, and then look at where we are now. This is probably going to be the theme for the day. Alright. try our best. Let's see what we can get out of this. Alright, there's some bumping and barging going on. Alright, come on, come on, come on. Push, push, push. Alright, not bad, not bad. Back up to B14. Let's get a good run. Alright, don't need to hit the brakes on that right-hander. Just gotta lift and manage your throttle. Alright, this guy's got washed out. Stay with him. What? Somebody's spun out. So that's a freebie. Of course, a lot of Kyle Busch liveries out and about. You know, because of his recent passing. Alright, we're making it work. P12. Still got 2 more laps on this stint, so let's try to make it work. Oh, that's a punt. I'm gonna take advantage of that, but that's not how I want to race. Stay with them. Because I'm gonna get a good run. And there we go. Got some clean air. Have I gotten Forza 6 yet? No, not yet, Jason. I recently just picked up a bunch of DLC for some of my other racing games, so it's not on the priority list yet, but I will get it soon. All right, let's see if I can break away from this screw. Wide. But I've been hearing good things about Forza 6, and I will get it eventually. Now, most of these people are going in the pits now. I don't know if 4 laps is the actual life of these tires. I'm gonna learn about it the hard way. So I'm provisionally P6, but I will have to serve my pit stop, which means I will drop back down the order. So let's see what I can conjure up for pit stop time. But yeah, a good amount of people have gone in this last lap. Alright. Setting personal bests. You know what? I think I'm gonna go for an overcut here. I think I'm gonna stick out a little bit longer on these hards. Because I'm starting to pull away from the guys behind. And rather than possibly end up fighting them, you know, later on in the race, let's see if I can make a gap on the guys that I'm directly in front and behind of. See if I can maybe make use of this. Because look at this, I'm catching up Chris pretty quickly. Uh-oh. I'm under steering like crazy. Why? It's not ideal. Alright, let's give this a go. I'm gonna go box this lap. By the way, I have gotten a partial fix on my sound alerts. I believe the blurp sound effects are good to go again. So if you guys want to use your channel points on that, go for it. I'm still trying to get the soundboard ones going. So no in and in. Alright, let's keep it on the inside for the pits. Alright. Silly horse girls. Yes, that is a real car. That's a real livery. Alright, let's be careful coming out of the pits. We don't want to get a pit line infraction. Alright, we're good. So we're out in P12. If I'm not mistaken, I think some of these guys that are ahead of me still need to pit. Uh-oh. Somebody's gone. Cold tires, so we gotta get these things up to temp. Alright, big group ahead. With them. Come on. Alright, some of the leaders are pitting now. Alright, it's a big train at the moment. Contact. Am I able to make my way through? Moses maneuver. I've got one. Don't you dare. Careful, there's somebody on my inside. And they won't hesitate to pit me if I try to go across them. Wow. Yeah, that's my fault. That's my fault, but Chris should not have gotten a 2-second penalty for that. That's unfair. That's why I backed off and made sure that he maintained position. So, yeah, that sucks. So let's just play on, because whenever I have a situation like that, I always make sure to give back the position, you know. All right, look at him. But he's kind of mad now. Well, he decided to give up, so... See, whenever something like that happens, I'll always give back the position. Break, doesn't matter how much time you lose, back off, give the place back, and try to go again, you know? It's good sportsmanship at the end of the day, but fortunately he didn't see the sporting side of it. I don't blame him. But that's not exactly how you want to act, you know. Yeah, he's being petty about it, but what can you do? Alright. Let's just try to keep our eyes moving forward, though. Alright, very narrow line, but we should be able to get this. There we go. P9. Cover off the inside. Oh, you hit the wall. Let's try this. Let's try to see if we can get a little bit further up. Whoop. If you keep your right tires on the yellow and red curbs, you're within track limits. So use as much of the track as you can. Because now I'm starting to pull away. I got a 3-second gap on the guys behind. Can't be too crazy on the tires. Look how beat up they are right now. So we don't want to be too aggressive. We got to nurse these. But that was a big mistake from JC over here. We have a lane here, but it's probably not going to work here. Don't try to squeeze me, my friend. I'm here. Kind of a dirty move. and track limits. There you go. Uh-oh, Fernando's gone. So that's going to be a freebie. Nice. Let's see if we can get P7. And maybe more. Alright, slowly but surely, we're catching them. But these tires need to be taken care of now. Stay with. Uh-oh. That's the tires not working in my favor. Ah, shoot. Ah, that sucks. Yeah, the tires gave out on me there. Ah. Oh well. But that goes to show how competitive I can actually be here. So this is just for intel. All right, let's try and do something a little bit better next time. All right. Yeah. Gran Turismo physics, you know? They're very wonky, so... Alright, so... Not gonna lie... I think end of lap 6... I think end of lap 6 should be the goal on hards. I would rather do that. Oh, see, that's just force of habit. I know I was ghosted, but you know, my standard race procedure is you hold your brake, you know, let everybody pass cleanly, and then go on ahead. Because I'm so used to playing other games that don't have ghosting, so I always just wait for people to get away. So. Alright, let's try to set a lap time. Because I kind of want to avoid the rabble. You saw how much of a melee the early race was, so I kind of want to avoid that. So let's try to set a lap time. But yeah, standard procedure. If you were spun out like the way I did during a race, whether the game has ghosting or not, hold your brakes, turn when it's safe to do so. Right? Safe, join lead. Because you would probably be very pissed if, you know, somebody was trying to spin and they ended up spinning into you. So, it's just a good practice to have. Now, With brake balance, I can leave it at neutral for qualifying. But for the actual race, though, I will swap the brake balance. Give myself some extra life on the front tires. Put more strain on the rears. So I'll go +3 when we're on the hard compound. And we're going to go +5 on the softs. Depending on where I qualify will be what compound I start on. 146.3, not bad. A little bit hesitant on the exit there, so could do better. Whew. But yeah, I need to figure out what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the week stream-wise. Definitely want to do Formula Legends because I want to put that DLC, give that DLC a proper go. But also, I do want to tap into my roots at some point and play some Overwatch on stream. You know, I want to farm some games in so I can get that that emoji title. Well, not an emoji, an emoticon title. You know, the one where you're flipping tables. Definitely want to do that. And see, I might do it this weekend too, because if I'm not mistaken, this weekend for Overwatch we have the World Cup qualifiers. So we have the group stage, the online qualifiers, the regionals. So you guys are more than welcome to hop on my channel, get some drops, you know. Ah, shoot, 146.6. Of course, don't expect good gameplay out of me when if we do Overwatch. You know, I'm very much a high gold, low plat level player. One-time top 500 on Switch because of lack of player base back then. So, you know, make of that what you will. Alright, we are improving a little. What car am I using? I'm using the BMW. I'm using the BMW M6 here. There really isn't too much of a difference between the Sprint model. Oh shoot, did I overshoot it? Track limits? Please tell me now. More importantly, am I going to be able to finish this lap? But I'm using the M6, the Sprint model. But you can get away with using the endurance model just fine. There's no inherent difference between the two. Alright, 146.2. I can take that to the race. Alright, let's see what I got here. Get some water. Where am I? Oh shoot, I'm P3. Nice. And I see a couple people from the previous race, so I think I'm gonna do excuse me. I think I'm gonna do what I did last race. I'm gonna do 5 laps on softs, 6 laps on hards. But given how close I am to the front, I would rather start in the softs and then transition to hards. Get that big gap going. Sorry, I've just been spamming the snooze button so that way we don't get an ad break during the race, but not sure if I'll be able to avoid it entirely. So be forewarned if there's any ads during the race. Alright, so since we're on the softs to start, put my brake balance on +5, put my radar on. I think it's no. What is that car in second? That's a Ferrari. Okay. It's a BMW 1.3 right now. We got a Godzilla alongside us in P4. Here we go. Checked up real big. Alright, let's make it work. Let's not be too crazy on lap 1. We wanna live through this, right? Act crazy on lap 1, regret on lap 11. But let's take advantage of this tire and this good tire advantage that we have. Taken out. I would not be surprised if the guy that punted me off did not get a penalty for that. Such is the unfair nature of the penalty system. But not gonna lie, this has kind of killed my momentum, you know? I was planning on using the soft tires to like really get away, pull away from the group ahead. Sorry, from the chasing pack. Now, I don't have that luxury. Because I'm willing to bet that most of the people back here are on the soft tires. Oh, sorry, on the hards. And are going to be transitioning into soft. So we're going to get that crossover and I'll be at a disadvantage for the second half of the race. So that really kind of screwed me over, that punt. Alright, somebody must have gotten hit. Yep. Apex and Chill, that was the guy that was running in P2. Fortunately, he got taken out, and he decided to go. A little too much curb there. Tried to abuse a little too much. Alright. Oh god, the leader. Or the pole sitter, rather. Gonna take 2 in one go. There we are. But they're fumbling over each other. And that's gonna give me some license to try to get away. I swear, if I could rescue a good result out of this, I'll be super happy. Doesn't need to be my starting position of P3, but if I can maybe do like a... Oh, I'm here. You gotta respect my space. Sorry, buddy. Push, push, push. Alright, Mexican driver. We raced against them last time out. Let's see if we can get past him this time. Coming in too hot. If I was a little closer, I probably could have made a move. Good exit. There we go. Move done. Nice and easy. P10. I reckon I probably have about one more lap on these. So end of lap 5 is our expected pit time. He's not the first person to do this. What's going on with people dipping their tires in the grass? Is it like a way of reducing tire wear? Is there like an exploit to that? Don't you dare! Alright, so we got past this Honda. Tried to push me into the wall, which is not sporting behavior. But we were able to make it through. Now, let's see if it's time for us to box. Now we really got to be careful with these tires, so... Pull away, pull away. Alright, we're catching up to this group right here. Oops. A little bit of debris. I think I probably caused that when the Honda forced me onto the grass. Alright, I think I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna go one more lap. Oh, 2 people off. That's huge. So P6. You know what? I'm gonna go in now. Yeah, I'll take the half second. Don't worry about it. Alright, let's take the hit. I don't know if I'll be able... I don't think I can serve this penalty in the pits. I think I have to do it on the line later in the lap. Alright, where am I going to be sent out? P14. But I do know a lot of these guys still need to do their... Uh-oh. Shoot. Should have been more careful. Yeah, that's careless of me. I kind of wish they would have let you. Kind of wish they would have kept you more to the right when coming out of the pits, but hey, I'm not a game designer. Yeah, that sucks, but them's the rules. Alright, so let's see what I can conjure up here now. This was a needless penalty that I have to serve here. Oh, one thing I can also do is I can change the brake balance a little bit. Put that brake balance over to +3. Put a little bit more power on the fronts. Alright, we got a lot of people going into box, so I'll be able to overtake some people this way. So back up to P13. Alright, let's see if I can salvage something from this. I'm also kind of curious what Eggans is using. Obviously I know what car he's using, but I don't know what compound he's on. I'm gonna get done. Gonna get done for a penalty for that. Half second? Yeah, it's gonna be a half second. That's fine. That's fair. Question is, will I be able to get out ahead of these guys on the pit, out of the pit lane? Yes, I will. Okay, cool. P9. But now I have to worry about tire offset. These guys will have a pace advantage behind me. So I gotta take that into account. Trying to make up for that. Uh-oh. All right. We got leaders in the pits right now. Makes me wonder if I should consider doing an overcut. You know? Do an extremely long first stint. And then take advantage on and then blitz away at the final part of the race. That is something to consider. Maha is only 1.5. They're on cold tires. Let's see if my natural pace can outweigh them. Alright, we're hanging in there. The Brazilian that is on softs, they're just... they've only gained about like 2 seconds on me. So, with the amount of time left in the race, I think I might be able to hold on. Oh, shoot. Never mind, it's gone up to 7 seconds. Alright. Take advantage of that. God, I really wish I were on, I really wish I didn't have that punt early in the race. Just think about where I could be right now. I think Mahagogo's on soft tires. That's probably why they're outpacing me at certain points. It's probably not a tire issue. It's the offset. Try as I might, that the difference between hard compound and soft compound is very distinct. On the whole, you're looking at about a almost 3-second difference, maybe 4-second difference in average lap times, so that's something you gotta really take into account. Alright. 5.5 to the car behind. I should be able to hang on to this P7. Which, given the state of what happened early in the race, this is a good recovery. Well, let's see if there's one more twist in the tail that could possibly steal something like that. There we go. P6. Out of nowhere. Let's just ignore that brush with the wall. We're okay. This beamer can take a beating. Alright, but we're 5 seconds away from the guy behind. So let's try and bring this car home. Let's try to secure this P6. Alright. I see 2 cars up ahead. Anybody with penalties to serve? No. Everything's hunky-dory. Alright, let's bring it home. Final sector. We'll take an ad break right after this, so that way we don't have to worry about those ads interrupting our flow. So I'll take a dedicated break and we'll let them play during that. So you guys won't miss anything. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody did their mandatory pit stops, so I don't think I'm gonna get any post-race places. Yeah, P6. Not bad, not bad. Alright. Still got a few more people running, 3 more. It could have been a lot worse, yeah. So this is a decent recovery drive. Because what I'm really trying to do is I'm trying to get my driver rating back up to B rank. And as long as I finish in the top 7, top 8, I'll be fine. That's usually a positive rating. So this is good. This is good. Okay, P6. Alrighty. Let me just have a look at my driver rating. Driver rating hasn't really gone up that much. Alright. Okay, guys. I'm gonna take 3 minutes away. Oh, here, I'll take the call. Much appreciated. But, yeah, I'm gonna go take a small break. You guys are not gonna miss anything. I'll queue up for the next race, and then we'll go from there, okay? So, back in 3 minutes. Hi everybody, welcome back. I just want to do some quick testing, so I have the game audio muted. I'm just trying to see if... Alright, looks like it's working, but I just need to mess up with the alert box. Because I noticed that sometimes it's not actually like playing. So I just want to get that fixed. So cut the URL. All right, should be good now. All right. So let's get back to work. I don't think we have time to get another practice lap in, so we'll just leave it as is. 146.2. That was good for P3 last race, so I want to see if we can try to do a little bit better next time I'm out. Because, you know, we were able to recover from that early punt, make it back to P6. So yeah, I think we're in a good place right now. Because I've always been relatively strong at this track, so it's good that I can get a decent result out of this, despite the misfortune. All right. So depending on where I am, if I'm more toward the middle, I'm gonna go on hards, and I'm gonna do like a long overcut. Okay, so I'm in P3 again. So you know what? Do I want to go on hards this high up the grid? I think it's worth trying. The fact that I have a strong enough lap to be this high up means if this doesn't work, then next attempt I could do the opposite. Fam says I love ya. We love you too, fam. How far are you down the grid? I think he's like dead last. Alright, anyway, let's get to work. Let me just get a quick little finger on the pulse. Let me see who amongst my friend group is live right now. Oh, we have Ender. Ender's live. He's playing some games as well, so we might expect a raid or two from him later on in the night. So, alright, here we go. So P3, now let's see if we're able to hang on with this compounded tire. Because what I want to try to do is maybe get to around lap 7. I could have said something else, but you know, knowing the internet. They wouldn't let me have the end of it. The number before. Yeah, clearly the two drivers up ahead are on softs. I made a big error there. My bad. Alright, Woodtick kind of had something go on. He got a little slowed up, so close by now. The fact that I have a good amount of pace on these guys, I'm hanging in there. Uh-oh. It's gonna push me to the side, huh? Should have made it within track limits. I'm gonna expect that. See, the problem is, there was a gap. You easily could have made the move without trying to push me to the side, so... I'm trying to play the long game here, so... So I don't mind dropping a few positions now. Hang in there. Alright, so that's one back. 5-second penalty for the Porsche. Can't say he didn't deserve it. So let's just try to stay close, and we'll be able to get him by naturally. Come on. Stick close, stick close, stick close. All right, defending well. A little bit of grass there. Should be fine. Alright, gain one, lose one, but again, I'm thinking about the long game here. Back to P5. Because remember, eventually I'm going to go into the soft tires. I will be quicker. So if I'm able to overcut these guys, you know, and maintain a good amount of soft tire life, I'll be good for the second stint. Is this B class or C? This is Daily Race C. So the Daily Race B for this week is Deep Forest, I think. Uh-oh. Oh, DR. We're in C. We're in C. We're like mid C right now. Shoot. I got careless. This is not what I needed right now. Alright. It's a shame because I'm starting to pick up some pace on this guy. Actually, this is where my tire offset could come into play. Around lap 4, this is when people are gonna consider going into the pits if they started the race on softs. Yeah. It's so weird because, like, I've been able to get away with it. At other times, but it's like when I need to, then they penalize me, and I'm just like, come on, consistency, please. All right, so I've dropped back a bit down to the mid pack. All right, I'm still in the track limits. I know that. Here. Yeah, some people just don't work in certain tracks. There's nothing wrong with that. For me, like, everybody has their comfort course. You know, for me, it's the Glen and Fuji. Oh shoot, that could be it. Okay, I'm okay. Yeah, Fuji is a very, very tricky circuit on Sector 3. So I don't blame you. It really, for me, it's like exit is like throttle exit. Because sometimes I get way too aggressive on the throttle too early, and I end up spinning out. It nearly happened to me just in that last sector. But these guys are having a battle, and it's reeling them in. Oh, look at that. Starting to pick up some pace. I think it's because of the lower fuel, the less amount of fuel in the car. And the fact that I'm just not fighting anybody. I'm actually in a sneaky good position right now. Daytona, Monza, Suzuka. Alright. See, the thing is with Daytona, it's just the final bus stop. I can never get it quite right. But for the other parts of the track, I'm very much competitive in. Got it. Yeah, nothing like good old practice. I would say watching lap guides. Not necessarily like hot laps, but there's a lot of good guides out there with good breaking points and references to really help, you know, because I don't try to replicate people's laps. I just try to replicate their braking, not more so like their reference points. Right? If you tell me if the car is getting close to this marker, that's when I'll turn in. That's when I'll, you know. That's how I figure it out. What was my quality lap for this? I was around a 126.3. 126.3. Alright, Drew for the win. I am coming for you, buddy. I know you're compromised because of that, that damage. Oh, sorry, 146. 146.3. I don't know why I said 26. I just looked at the times and I'm like, wait, hold on a minute. Oh shoot, I actually have a bit of a gap on the guys behind. But I think that's also the pit, I think that's also the pit delta. So all right. I would not be surprised if the good portion of the people ahead of me are going to go into the pits this lap. Yep, literally everybody in the pits. Okay. All right. I'm gonna keep my my wheel to the right. Because last race I ended up getting a silly 3-second penalty because I went over the pit lines. So there we go. Making stupidly sure. Alright. One thing I need to do, I need to adjust this brake balance. Alright, let's get up to racing speed. P8. I don't know if that's track limits. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, that's a decent way to learn the track. Also, my muscle memory from other racing games have definitely helped with Daytona. Like, for example, when I used to play a lot of iRacing, I used to take part in a lot of the big endurance events over at Daytona, right? I was never able to get a team going for the Rolex 24, but I used to do some of the solo events like the Roar before the 24, which is like 2.4 hours, and you were using like Mazdas, touring cars, and the like. God, now that I think about it, I have not done a race at Tokyo Expressway in God knows how long. Alright. Ooh, track limits for the Brazilian. See if we can take advantage of that. Starting to reel them in. Now they're getting a little elbows out. A little too close for comfort to this nonsense. Okay. I think my first win in GT7 came from either High Speed Ring or Kyoto. One of the two. Alright, I should be able to overtake this Porsche. Oh, this car feels so much better now. Alright, pole to win. Nice. I think my first win was... My first win on high-speed ring... Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot, there's a big one. Alright, let's stay with them. Yeah, my first win, I think it was high-speed ring. But what happened was, it was a wet race. So, I was like P5-ish? But then, trying to, Alright, I was side by side. Have to get a little bit elbows out with these guys, you know. But hey, we're making it work. Back up to P5. Phew. Decent so far. Although I do want to say though, 15 viewers on stream tonight. This is actually a pretty big high for me. So, it's higher than what I normally get, so thank you everybody who's sticking around. You know? I do appreciate the eyeballs. It sounded super, oh shoot, I'm gonna get done for track limits here. Ah, no. It's only half a second. Alright, but I'll see what I can do. This person just needs to be patient. He doesn't need to try to take me out. He can overtake me naturally through my penalties, so... Just... Hey! Ender and friends, how are ya? Party of 3, nice to see ya. Oh, I think he's giving me a little bit of a bump draft. Thank you, my friend. Don't know if he meant it, but it does benefit me all the same. Yeah, it really sucks. It really sucks when you get shot down like that through no fault of your own. I know how that feels, trust me. I was in D rank not too long ago, so... Alright. We're gonna naturally take P6, so... Unless there's some last lap shenanigans amongst these two. But I figure we're gonna finish where we are. Though... I think what we got here is... probably... Ooh, okay. But yeah. P6 again. But, alright. Ain't that always the case? Reacting late. But yeah, Ender, what were you guys doing tonight? What were you playing? Just see how many people still need to finish. Oh, that's it. Luna Abyss. Okay. Another indie horror game? What's it about? Alright. Housemate. FPS bullet hell game. Oh, nice. Okay. We're not gaining too much. I need better results. But I am gaining. I'm getting those. Shoot, you can't see it. My thingy's in the way. Yeah, but I am getting blue arrows. So that's a sign that I'm getting better. I'm growing in driver rating. Quite new and fun. That's awesome. All right. But for anybody that's coming in from Ender's Stream that doesn't know who I am, I'm Jet, variety streamer. I specialize in racing games. We're playing some Gran Turismo right now, doing some dailies, and yeah, we're here at Watkins Glen. You know what? As good as the BMW is, let me back out of this a bit. Wait, I saw something PlayStation related as a time trial. First, I want to see if I need to change the oil on this. We're good. Yeah, you gotta keep track of the oil and the engine in this game. So keep it nice and steady. My worst track around here is most definitely Laguna Seca. Ooh, yeah, Laguna is one of my weaker ones, but I would say my worst racetrack is definitely Bathurst. Bathurst and the Nordschleife. I kind of went over this in depth, but let me just grab my free million for predicting the Manufacturers Cup winner, and let me just get my my 4-star ticket. I'm so mad because on the last stream I was considering going a different route for the Nations Cup, and I had it. I was gonna go for Paul Ura, and he ended up winning. I went with Miyazono at the end. I'm just like, I need to trust my gut next time. But hey, we're getting a free NSX, so all's well that ends well. Alright, but yep, I'm gonna be running this. Yeah. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a steward. Okay, it's a Days of Play challenge. Laguna Seca in the new Porsche 911. Alright. We got Monza in the RB 2019s. We also got Monza in the Di Tomasos. And we got Gilles Villeneuve in the Super GTs. Okay. I might as well try these when I get some time. Alright. Anyway, let's get back into racing. So, even though I didn't have any incidents in that last race, I still kind of lost pace through the first stint. So, I'm thinking we need to do soft to hard if we're going to be at the front. I don't think doing that long overcut on the first stint helps us out. So, yeah, we're gonna go softs at the front. All right, how much time do we have? We got 3 minutes. Shoot. There was one thing I was supposed to be looking up. Before anything else happens. Okay, yeah, I wanted to see if we can get like a snooze button working, but we still got a little bit of time before that happens. So after this race, I'm probably gonna do an ad break, and then I'll probably sneak in like 1 or 2 more races after that. All right? Yeah, you must get ahead of slower cars to make this work. And see, if I were going up against cleaner drivers or more skilled drivers, definitely I could make that work. But this is mid-C, so this is bandit country. People will crash into you just for looking at you funny. So, yeah, I'm not keen on doing that. All right. Let's see here. We got imps. Oh right, we have a We have Detroit. We have Detroit Street Circuit this weekend over on IMSA and Indy. Okay. By the way, if you want like a good little calendar of like what motorsport events are going on in the world of motorsport, over in my Discord we actually have a little calendar that updates every week. So our good friend Zeno, one of our admins, he likes to post up all those highlights. He likes to post up all the what's going on in the world of motorsport. So yeah, IMSA and Indy at Detroit, gonna be interesting. Okay, I really have to do laps and laps around here, chasing my ghosts and watching guys till I find a breakthrough. That's how I shape my Suzuka time. Definitely a good habit to have. I would say, even though they're the top guys and they're usually like complete aliens, still watch some of the top time trials, right? First half is pretty hard to overcome. You're talking about the S's, right? You know, going around the S's, going around that double apex for laps for turns 1 and 2. Yeah, it's really just a case of throttle control. If you can get your throttle control right and getting your lines right, that's what you got to do. First phase of trying to save time. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Which is funny because when it comes to Suzuka, my weak point is actually after the S's. It's actually the Degners, Degner 1 and 2. I can never get that quite right. Alright, where am I? Oh hey, I'm on pole. Yeah, so I gotta go softs for this. Let's see if we can make this work. Alright. Yeah, this what I got here is a 146.2. Oh, okay, gotcha. I understand. Yeah, just watch guides. I don't know if you're very much, I don't know if you're a telemetry person, but this most recent update, the Spec 3 update for Gran Turismo, we've introduced the data logger, so now you can study telemetry as well as following ghosts, you know? I kind of wish you could have like a telemetry diagram as you're racing, you know? So that way you can compare your steering inputs, your throttle and brake inputs compared to whichever ghost you're going up against. Gotcha. Yeah, what I like to do is I like to coast off at Suzuka before hitting the brakes, you know? So that way I can like pull myself forward, then get the car down. Because if I'm like super aggressive on the brakes, then I'll just mess up. Alright, so we're on pole. Let's see if we can do something with this. Just do my thing and let fate play its course. Have I seen some of the UMA cars in Forza? Oh, I'm pretty sure there's a few. In fact, over in Le Mans Ultimate, I've been trying to import some, but I can't seem to get it quite right. Because I have this this specific livery that I'm using, this specific BMW one. I'm trying to get it working on my on my end on PC for Le Mans Ultimate, but it's only coming up as a blank slate, you know. Someone did make the livery in Forza. Nice. But it's based on car models. All right. Yeah, I know there's a lot of fan-made. There's a lot of like fan-made Itasha, essentially, Itasha liveries for Uma Musume. I have a Lamborghini livery that's designed after that's like inspired by Maruzensky. Okay. There's a Mihono Bourbon GR. Let me know if you find anything Oguri Cap related, because I wanna make sure I want to. So this is where I get to nerd out about Uma Musume. If there's any if it's anything Maruzensky, Oguri Cap, or Mambo related, sign me up. All right, it's good that you're actually doing your research on fighting those bad habits. You know, self-study is the only way you're gonna get better. Oh, there's an Oguri Cap Lancer livery. Nice. I mean, it's not hard to do. You kind of have to expect it, given the setting and the subject matter. Wait, there's no Lamborghinis. There's no Lamborghinis in Forza, in Horizon 6, or is it just not the Countach? Mambo doesn't have too much. This is a shame. Okay. They're probably like Huracans, Venenos. Yeah. Cause of how, you know, the there's a reference to it in the audio. Okay. You know, at some point I will get the game. It's just, you know, not now. God, I had to mess with myself to keep it in track limits. Wait, holy cow! I pulled out almost a 4-second lead. Okay. Let me see what I can do here, because considering I have clean air, can I maybe, if I can keep it relatively clean and tidy, I might be able to do a long first stint. Maybe do 5 and 6. Yeah, I found that trail braking really does help. Also, like, mini lifts off the throttle rather than just fully lifting off. You know, that still maintains some power. It still maintains some pace, even though I'm trying to, like, right here, and even on turn 1, I'm already accelerating on the apex. But I'm starting to lose a bit of pace, though. Alright. Let's not get too carried away, because my tires are starting to ache a bit. Push, 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 push. Alright. I get you. Oh, man. Now I'm starting to feel it with the brakes myself. Alright, bit of a gamble, but I'm gonna go stay out. I'm gonna box this lap. Yeah, understandable. I was about to say, you know what, you do have a point, but then at the same time, the guy behind me also lost a lot of time. So, yeah, this is a good time. This is a good time to pit. Because I'm also thinking about the situation when I go out, you know? Starting to pull away a little bit. Yeah, I got like a couple tenths there. Let's not... Yeah, we've done enough gambling for now, so let's box in. Okay. Kage, whatever, how you pronounce it, they have decided they want to do the same thing. Let's see where we go out. We're probably going to be around like P3, P4, but we'll be in good stead. Just got to be responsible with the pit exit. There we go. So we're P7 provisionally, but that also means that everybody ahead of us still needs to pit. Now we have somebody directly chasing us, Mario Lopez here. Guatemalan driver, I believe. Oh, of course. Taken out by a back marker. Oh shoot! That's the guy that I'm fighting for the win. So yikes! I would not be surprised if the guy that took us out took him out too. Yeah, I know. But more importantly, since the vast majority of people are pitting now, or like or within the next lap or two, am I going to be able to overtake these guys through the pits and get my position back? Alright, we'll see. Alright, I'm up into P7 now. Yeah. We're fighting Sensei here, but he's on cold tires. We've raced against this guy earlier. Alright. He didn't really give us too much of a fuss, so... But he could be on softs. Oh, shoot. Was there contact? Was there contact in that? I don't know. Or did I just make a mistake? Alright, let's not lose our heads. You kind of blocked him? Did I really? Okay. I'm just going by I'm just going off the radar, so oh really? Okay. See, call me old-fashioned, but when it comes to racing like that, if you're like directly behind somebody, you're kind of asking for a punt, or you're looking to punt somebody if you're going directly behind somebody going into a braking zone. You know, if he's looking for an overtake, if he's looking for a clean overtake, he would probably commit to a side. But if he's gonna go in granny shifting, like double clutching, all right. Bear in mind, I'm not a pro driver, so I'm only low B. All right, somebody was off on the side there, so we got P5 back. All right, we're making our way back up though. All right, 4 seconds. What's happened in the past is in the past, so let's go eyes forward. Let's have short-term memory and then keep going. Oh, that's a bad line. Alright, I should be able to take one back from pits. I definitely could have done better. Alright, 3.4. Uh-oh. Try to keep it within the line? Stewart say I'm okay. 2.6. Even if this doesn't end up being a win, this is still a decent result. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me lift off a little bit. Did I give back the time that I gained? There we go. Cool. No penalty. Still in the track limits. Alright. I know we said that 150s might have been competitive pace, but honestly, I think I need to try to get into the 148s on hards. Catch him! Doing what I can. Doing what I can. There we go. Oh, we're closing in hard. Clean exit. Just small. I need to figure out how to get this uphill turn, this uphill right-hander. That's what's losing me the most time. Yeah, it's the uphill climbs that are losing me pace. Because I'm making it up everywhere else. Oh right, you use controller, don't you, Yori? Oh, Yanni. Sorry. Just throwing the car at this point. I was losing the rear a little bit. Alright. I don't know, unless something happens. Probably gonna end up in P4. Here we go. Oh, that was a kind of a wide line. See, the fact that they're throwing a green flag on the Marshall side. Was there an incident? Uh-oh. I kind of got spooked. Dang. I was looking at the chat and I saw that one of the contenders from previous race left, but I realized, oh shoot, he's not in front of me, he's behind me. Ah, no. I lost concentration. But hey, if I had one more lap, I think we have him. Dang. I gotta keep up with this race. But I think we can get some more good results here. Oh shoot, the guy that took us out, he got a 1-minute penalty. He didn't do his mandatory tire change. Or maybe he did, but just went soft, hard, or something like that. This is why you read the rules, guys. But dang. Me and Cage are having a decent battle, but we both got taken out. It's a paltry consolation getting a pole position, but So dirty, says Sensei. Hmm. Yeah, let's have a look here. Okay, I can see a, well, it's better I use this. Yeah, I could see a marked change in my driver rating, so. Alright, let's, oh shoot, it's almost midnight, so I should probably call it here. Actually, hold on, let me save the replay, just in case. Alright, it's on out. Whew, okay guys. Yeah, it's midnight. I got work in the morning, so I gotta call it here. But yo, thank you to everybody who dropped by. For everybody who left a follow. Ender, thank you for the raid. I don't know if I'll be doing. I might do more Gran Turismo tomorrow, or I might do like Formula Legends, something like that. Because here's the thing, right? We have Bathurst. I'm still not convinced if I want to do Bathurst. I don't know if I want to do this round. Because this is not my cup of tea. I usually like to skip races that I'm not confident in. So I'm definitely not gonna be doing June 6th, the finale at Nürburgring, because that's the full layout that has the Nordschleife. So I probably won't be doing that. I might do more daily races on Saturday. So tomorrow night, Friday night, I might play some other games. So actually, hold on. How much is the current 3.5 million if I finish in local ranking 1? All right, cool. I'll take that. All right, so yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming by. Yeah, I'm good with the if it's the Grand Prix layout, I'm fine. But when you get into the Nordschleife, forget it. All right, guys. So, oh shoot, ad break is on. But I do want to thank you guys all for watching. Let me see if I can pass this off to a raid. I don't know if anybody can still hear me, but I'm gonna pass it off to a raid. Let's see who's live right now. Oh shoot, I'm gonna send you guys over to a friend of ours, the Nixter. He's playing MLB The Show. He's a good friend of ours. We have a mutual friend in ID Catherine. She's a variety streamer, but she's a mutual friend of ours. So let me toss you over to him. Let me see what he's up about with MLB The Show. All right, guys. I'll see everybody tomorrow night. Okay. All right, guys. You take care.